Comfortable?
Yeah. I was out of the picture until you do your intro.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blow the Whistle Sports. I'm your host, Wayne Holloway, and thank you once again for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share. And like always, if you want to see something on the show, you have some bright idea that you want to see us implement on the show, drop them in the comments below or hit us on any one of our social media outlets. Holler at us, we holler back. Man, it's been a great week in football. It's been a great week in baseball, and everything is blowing up. I can't wait to get into this show. But first, without further ado, let me introduce you to my co-host, that man, Mr. Steven Rubain. How you doing, sir?
I am doing wonderful, amazing. Great to be a Commander fan this week. Ooh.
How has your week in sports been?
Man, a lot of sports to watch. I mean, I watched all different types of sports this week.
And we got an epic battle about to happen.
Yes. Ooh, yes, we do.
I think everybody was waiting for this one to happen.
Yeah, it's kind of a little damper on it, though, with a loss of Fernando Valenzuela for all those Dodger fans out there.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about him in a little bit, but yeah.
Man, my heart goes out to his family. That was a great, if not the greatest pitcher ever, Fernando Valenzuela.
He definitely had the best rookie year of any player who ever played in baseball. To win the Cy Young and the MVP and win the World Series in your first year.
I'm gonna tell you like this. You know, baseball is a sport that I watch. You know, I like it when it gets to juicy and gets to the nitty gritty. But I used to watch him in regular games just pitch shutouts, and it was like going to a theater. Everybody would come over to watch him make no one do nothing.
The energy was amazing. And I remember, I was a big, at that time, Yankees and Orioles fan. So 81, when he knocked off the Yankees, that was like heartbreak to me. But I just remember just the energy, that screwball he had. He just had this wild screwball pitch that no one can hit. And so that's my memory of him as a kid, is just how amazing he was as far as his poise, for someone so young. Because he was only like 19, 20. People are like saying he's not 19, 20. He's like 25, 26. He's lying.
And we've never seen anything like that since.
No, not since. No one's.
Not even a glimmer.
Not a glimmer, yeah. That was the glory days of, people say the glory days of the 50s and 60s, but I think that time period between 78 and 83 was a glory days for baseball. That was when football still had not yet crossed that threshold yet. But it was coming, but it hadn't yet passed baseball yet. Baseball was still king in America then.
Baseball, if you go some places, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It's still king.
Right. I mean, yeah. In certain areas, well, right now with this Yankee-Dodger matchup, the tickets are going for $1,500 to start.
Woo!
And up. And so
we won't say no cheap. Can you say no cheap seats in the house?
No cheap seats in the house. If you get in that door, you got money. So yeah, it's going to be something else. So that's going to be starting on Friday. We're going to have the game 1 at Dodger Stadium, and I'm sure they're going to do a nice tribute to Fernando, and it should be a much watch. I'm definitely planning my Friday around watching that game. So
yep. We got the World Series.
The World Series.
Yankees, Dodgers.
And baseball lucked up this year because, we've been criticizing baseball all the year as far as like the energy and not, supporting its players.
Well, we still criticize them about the poor support, the poor showman, or not showmanship. What's the word I'm looking for? They don't put enough.
The marketing is
poor marketing. There it is.
Very poor marketing.
I couldn't even think of the right word for it. But baseball is huge as football.
Yeah,
and their players. You should be able to know who that person is when he walks by.
Exactly. There's a couple players, like I said, who we all know the big names, of course, the Otanis, the Judges, and those guys. But there's other guys who are amazing as well, who could walk down the street and nobody would know who they are.
I mean, you remember older players that don't even play now more than the new players that's playing right now.
Because baseball then was king. And like I said, the top players back then, everybody knew who they were.
Yep.
And so now, they got to get it back. So we'll see let's see how this World Series goes as far as getting baseball back to that pinnacle that it needs to get to. So we're gonna see.
What everybody wants to know, Steve.
What's that?
Who you think gonna win, Steve? Who you think gonna win?
I thought about this long hard because I look at hitting, I look at pitching, and I look at coaching. And when I put all three together,
Now think about what you about to say, Steve.
Um,
We in Los Angeles.
I know we are. And
We are in Los Angeles. I want you to be careful on how you answer this question. And I see a little smile on your face already, Steve. Already. I want the people to know out here, we represent LA here.
Mhm.
Now, my man here is not an LA person.
East Coast all the way.
Yeah, East Coast. Hey, and you know, you get it from both sides here.
Yeah.
Both sides, but he's about to answer the $100 million question. Who's going to win the World Series this year?
It's going to be a close series, but I got the Yankees edging it out because I trust the Yankee pitching over the Dodger pitching right now. I know.
That was you getting sacked, Steve. That was you getting sacked. I gave you the time to really amp it up for all our Dodger fans, and you said the Yankees?
I mean, outside of Yamamoto, who else can they trust in the pitching staff? And I mean, the Yamamoto's can be shaky at times. So I think with those Yankee big bats, it's just going to be hard. I mean, they're doing pitching by committee. That's not going to work against the Yankees. The Yankees going to eat that up. So like I said, it's going to be a good series, but I got the Yankees pulling it out in 6. Take it to the bank. Sorry, guys. Got to tell it like it is. I'm not going to.
Yankees in 6.
Yankees in 6. You know, when it comes down to it, their bats are just bigger. I mean, Ohtani's, of course, is a great bat. You know, Mookie Betts gets hot for a while. Hernandez can get hot for a little bit, but that Yankee lineup is deadly from 2 to 5.
I don't have any arguments with that. I have any arguments with them being deadly.
Deadly. Judge, Soto, and now what's his name's hitting the ball again? Stanton. When you get all three of those guys hitting the ball like that, that's a tough recipe.
But the Dodgers are no joke themselves.
Oh no, I like
they're gonna be ready for this contest, Steve.
It's gonna be some high scoring game. I can see some games like those 10-8 games, 10-9, because the hitting,
in the World Series,
because of the hitting, the pitching is not up to snuff as it normally would be.
We were just talking about the late great Fernando Valenzuela. I used to love how he say his name.
I know that used to be one amazing. Yeah, he kind of Scully used to just get off on the whole Fernando thing. That was one of his big Fernando mania.
You know, just saying his name, that nostalgia of just remembering what was. You know,
what was, yeah, amazing time.
Baseball.
Yes, sir.
But you know where I'm going, Los Angeles Dodgers.
We know that. We know what you're gonna do
in 5.
Yeah.
In 5.
In 5. Okay, yeah, I heard this. He also said next week the Jets are gonna win 7 straight starting this week.
And you know what?
So remember that, guys.
Let me revise that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying 7 straight from Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. The only game that out of the next 7 games I'm a little shaky on is when he has to see CJ Stroud. That's the only game that I'm like,
yeah.
But they get past CJ Stroud, 7 games. 7 games, Steve. You heard it here on Blow the Whistle Sports. All Aaron Rodgers, 7-game winning streak.
Okay, guys, remember this, because he sometimes gets that selective memory. He sometimes forget things when it doesn't work out his way. But I'm gonna remind him. You better believe I'm gonna remind him. So, yeah,
it's all about the Dodgers here.
Yeah, you want to recognize some of these other champions. WNBA, the New York Liberty went out and pulled it out against the Lynx. And so, we're gonna
say it again.
New York Liberty, we're gonna give them some love. WNBA champions. And now, right after the season ends, they're already talking possible strike.
They want more money.
They want more money. So now they say, hey, we all got to get a piece of that pie. So the ownership tried to sit there and say they lost $40 million last year. Players are like, nah, not Now when you got these TV deals, now when you selling out arenas,
Okay, so let me think. But do you agree with the women? They need more money.
of course they need more money.
Now, do you agree that the attendance is not up to par in WNBA?
The tennis has gotten better and better. I mean, what more can they do? I mean, you only play in the arena you're in.
All right, that wasn't the question. Was is it up to par now? And when Caitlin Clark is playing, I
Right.
see it up to par. But in all games, are these owners making the type of money they should be with these arenas in these WNBA games to be paying these salary, or WNBA are they solely going off of TV money? Break us off a part of the TV money. Don't worry about what we bringing in.
TV money is everything in sports now. So as long as you're getting that TV money in, they're making the money. I mean, they're going to sit there, of course, and lie and say, "Oh, we lost $40 million." No, trust me, they're making money. And the NBA is a juggernaut in itself. So NBA money behind you, they're okay. I'm not feeling sorry for the WNBA ownership.
Okay. Now, while we talking about money, I want to. Is there anything else we're going to talk about? WNBA? Are we going to go into football?
Let's get right into football because we got so much to go over in football. So much to get into.
Now, staying on the subject of money, but we transition into NFL. The money that is being generated in the NFL, do you think that these contracts should be incentive based, or should it be the way it's going right now? And with the question I'm asking is because the way it's going, it seems like we only get to see a true athlete for that first rookie contract, unless we have a rare athlete as a Patrick Mahomes or Allen, and these are quarterbacks that love the game to where they've already been paid and they still play at an elite level, and it doesn't seem like the talent slacks off a bit once the contract is already in hand.
I mean, it sounds to me it's a case by case basis. I mean, for every Patrick Mahomes, there's a Deshaun Watson. I mean, that's just the nature of life. For every person who has greatness, is somebody who has the ability to be great, but just chooses for whatever reason not to be. I don't think you can sit there and, an owner has to make a decision. You when you want to give a $230 million guaranteed contract, you're already setting yourself up for failure. Whose fault is that? Is that Deshaun Watson's fault?
No,
it's the owner's fault. And so, a player is going to get what they can get, and so that's their job.
Well, with that being said, the compensation is supposed to weigh in with the talent and how you perform. With the amount of a $240 million contract, you would think it's supposed to give you security that you go all out. But what we've seen from a time to time basis is once the bag is secure, the talent falls off.
I mean, it speaks for itself. You look at the top 5 highest paid quarterbacks. These are quarterbacks who are struggling. The quarterback who's won 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls, or 3 of the last 5 Super Bowls, is like what, 7th or 8th as far as salary now. So I mean, he's sacrificing money. We know Mahomes could get easily $60 million plus, easy.
He should be the highest.
He should be the highest paid player, but he understands I need to put food on everybody else's plate in order to win championships, and so I'm going to sacrifice the money I can get in order to make sure to get the players we can get. And speaking of which, we just saw today. Look at the Chiefs went on and got DeAndre Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
How could they get him? Because they still had food on their plate, because Mahomes didn't do a Aaron Rodgers and rob the organization blind.
He didn't go rob the bank.
And so there's still money out there. If somebody gets hurt, they can still go out there and say, hey, we got money still available. We can go out there and get one of the top talents still out there, even though, he's not the player he used to be. Trust me, in Mahomes' system, in that Andy Reid system, he's going to step it up. You're going to start seeing a much different.
Even with him being on the field, the decoy that will be for other players to be wide open. Andy Reid, I can't say enough about him and his coaching is just out of this world. Him, Mike Tomlin, me and you, I guess we were talking about the other day about them being like the top coaches.
1 and 2.
And Andy Reid will get a DeAndre Hopkins in there, and everybody will think that ball is going to Hopkins, and Hardman to step up. And then they'll put Hardman on the injury report, and Hardman's not really hurt, but he'll be on the injury report. I won't say not really hurt, but you know how it is.
Right.
They'll have some type of ailment. They'll put him on the injury report. The next week, somebody else steps up. It's like next man up over there in KC.
It's always next man up with them, and they spread the ball around. I mean, everybody, you can't be on the Chiefs and not hold your weight. It's just expected, even from the first player down to the 20th player. You want to have a chance to do something. And so
now I guess let me ask you in a better way with this money situation before we switch to something else. Now, I understand what you said about the contracts and it being part of the game, and money and compensation for accolades and yards, or keep it the way it is.
As far as explain it again. As far as what? How the salaries are going now, or
keep it the way the salaries are going now, where we have to have a special person that will keep playing the game, not just going through the motions. Like it seems like on certain times, like people don't even want to be in the game. It doesn't. You don't see the happy. Like when I see Allen play over there at Buffalo,
right?
He's excited. He's actually in the game. When I see a Patrick Mahomes play, he
excited.
It's you get into the game.
See, but that goes back to what I was saying before, is that it's a case by case basis, because some guys have that and some guys just don't. And so it's up to the ownership to sit there and evaluate who is that guy who I can build around, who's that guy who can, and someone I know is going to be a team first guy and not be a me first guy, and then pay accordingly and work out. Like I said, if you win, you're going to get your money.
Right.
Mahomes, 3 Super Bowls, we see him on every other commercial. He got AT&T. He got, there's like 5 different commercials he's in now.
They make sure he's paid.
So you can make sure he's paid.
Other than his football salary.
Other than his football salary. And that's what it comes down to, is that when you win, everything is going to come to you. And so winning should come first. But when these guys now, these contracts, winning doesn't come first. Come first is get that money.
Yeah.
And so, look what's going on in Dallas. Dallas is a prime example of, you got
Dak got paid, CD got paid,
but they're living off the shit. They're living off the Cowboys shield. They're not living off of what they've done to win. There's a big difference between stats and winning.
It's true. Very true.
They got great stats, both of them. But what wins do they have to show for it? What do they have in the real season, which is the playoff season, to justify those contracts? Nothing.
Right.
But that's what
Dak,
the NFL is now.
I'm not a fan of the Dallas or Dak or CD, but to argument is, management didn't go out and do what they were supposed to. Henry should actually be on Dallas.
Yeah.
And then not even with Henry not being on Dallas, they have Cook on the practice squad. You have an able-bodied person that I guarantee will be getting more yards than your whole backfield right now, and you won't elevate him. Is it safe to say, do you smell tanking to get a number 1 draft pick?
Oh, I think the Cowboys been tanking. I don't think Jerry Jones is about winning at all. I've been saying, we've had this argument for years that I'm not a Jerry Jones guy, and I don't think he's about winning anymore. He knows that he's making billions of dollars. If they win, they win. If they don't, I still got my place. And so,
but it really sticks with me when it doesn't look like they're even trying.
No, they're not. It sells for itself. They knew going into the offseason they need to make moves.
Right.
Who did they go out and get to make that move? Ezekiel Elliott? He was supposed to be the person who was supposed to change the fortunes of the organization? Seriously?
Ezekiel Elliott is not it. Not it.
Well, we knew that. When they made the move, we knew it wasn't going to work out the way they wanted it to. We knew that. he was faded. He couldn't do well with the Patriots. If you can't get 1,000+ yards with the Patriots last year's team, there's no way you're going to do anything with the Cowboys.
But once again, he got his money.
Got his money.
And where is he at?
I mean, that's what it comes. The Cowboys are about marketing their brand. They're not about winning.
Ooh.
Anybody call in. Anybody who want to challenge me on that, I'll be glad to take the call.
Let me put that number up.
Put the number up.
The number is 1-909-844-4443. That is 1-909-844-4443.
Yes.
Ooh, wait, that was a profound statement right there, Steve.
Profound but true. I mean, think about this. The Cowboys haven't been to an NFC Championship game in 27 years.
Wow.
The Washington Redskins / Commanders haven't been to an NFC Championship game in 32 years. Right. Now, for some reason, the Redskins / Commanders are just seen as like the most horrible, worst thing ever, horrible shit. Some people still consider the Cowboys to be this huge, relevant organization that's done all this, blah, 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 blah.
They haven't done anything.
They
26 years?
26 years. 1997 was the last time the Cowboys made it to the NFC Championship game. I mean, but yet they're still being sold as if they're still the most relevant team in the NFC.
Those jerseys are flying off the shelves.
Jerseys fly off the shelves, packed 100,000 seat stadium. I mean, they get the TV, they get the game of the week 8 times a year.
Always on Thanksgiving.
Always on Thanksgiving. They got all this stuff going for them, and they have nothing to show for it.
I honestly think, those contracts need to be broken, and teams that are relevant need to be put in those spots. Like, it shouldn't be a monopoly on Thanksgiving anymore. If you were, let's say, 4 or 5 times in the spotlight, teams should be able to be elevated to those spots now.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with keeping the Lions and I mean, that is the one tradition game. If you got 1 week, you're gonna have tradition. If they want to keep the Cowboys and Lions in that, I don't have an issue with that. Because now they have the third game, so you can make a third game that's a relevant game between two teams who, have a Steelers Ravens type game.
Right. But I'm just saying the monopoly. Yeah. And as you said, 26 years.
26 years.
26 years.
Yeah.
So if it's 26 years, other teams need to be able to get that spot. And then when you earn that spot, I'm just saying it is what it is. Right. It's tradition. But I'm just saying I think a better thing would be for it to be according to record who earned that spot every season.
Yeah.
To where it's like a badge of honor to have that spot during the season.
Right. I mean, now they could make sure that the teams who earn the spot are playing in those games. So they could have the Chiefs play against the Cowboys in the Thanksgiving game. They can have, the Niners play against the Lions in the championship game.
Right.
I mean, in the Thanksgiving game. So, I mean, that's an option they have, is that if they want to do that, the NFL could do it. The NFL has such a monopoly now that they just are like, we can just give the fans anything. I mean, look at that Monday night game they had this week. You had the 2 Monday night games. You had the Ravens-Bucks, which was the first game. Good, solid game.
Right.
Then you had the Chargers versus the Cardinals. Now, think about this. They put that game on ESPN Plus. Even with 2 games on ESPN Plus, they still got 1.8 million people watching it.
So
many other sports, NBA or baseball, they'd be ecstatic with 1.8 million people watching a regular season game.
True.
I mean, but that's where the football juggernaut is that people are just so gung-ho on NFL. Whatever they put on the screen, people are going to watch it. And so
I'm not a fan of this 2 Monday night games. I'm really not a fan of it.
See, I am because it gives you an option. It gives you, if one game is a stinker, then you can go ahead and say, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and watch the other game.
Well, you know what? Once again, I said it wrong. I'm okay with the 2 games. I just need to be able to watch both games.
Right.
I don't want to pick between. What if they put 2 hot games on? Then I'm stuck.
You want the early?
I got to flip back and forth.
Yeah,
I got to put it on the split screen.
You want that early game, late game, like the 4-7?
Yes. Yes.
I think the only argument they have with that is that if you do 4-7, people like this, people out here especially, we're going to complain because we don't get off work till 5 o'clock. We can't miss.
They're going to complain anyway.
I know, but that's the only argument I can see towards is that they figure ratings wise, it wouldn't be in their benefit because on the West Coast, you're not going to get it during prime time. You're going to get it during, the news, or get it during, situation where people aren't going to be able to watch it as they want to. But yeah, I'm with you. Listen, I'm all for having football on as much as possible. If it's 4, 5, 6 days a week, I'm for that. I'm for anything that will sell the product because it's a great product, and so
excellent product, and we love it.
We love it. So yeah, that's why. So that's where I feel as far as contracts go. Ownerships have to be smart about how they go about making these contracts and making these trades, making these deals. Speaking of which, probably I won't call it the worst trade in the last 10 years, but because of the nature of the trade, it's not because of the player itself, but because of the nature of how the trade went down. Bryce Young will be starting for the Carolina Panthers this week over Andy Dalton, who was apparently hurt his thumb, sprained his thumb in a car accident this week. And so they don't want to take the risk of any more damage to the hand that are getting hit. So Bryce Young's going to be back in there to start. How do you feel as far as putting Bryce Young back in there?
Well, he's the backup right now, and I just want him to come in and be positive and think positive, and be better, and put the ball out there.
Right.
You got the talent, put the ball out there. Don't worry about the naysayers because you're already in the whole world of it right now.
Right.
Let it hang. That's my message to Bryce Young. Let it hang.
Okay.
Whatever talent you got, let it hang. And and do your thing.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, it's an interesting first game for him back playing against the Denver Broncos. Speaking of letting it hang, Bo Nix, who to many people kind of fell under the radar as far as that whole quarterback 1, 2, 3. He was drafted at I think 11th or 12th,
right?
And he kind of fell under the radar as far as like the huge big name quarterbacks, but he's had quietly a very solid first year quarterback for the Broncos. It's going to be interesting to see. Here you got a number 1 franchise level quarterback going up against a guy who was number 11 or 12, but so far has had a much stronger young campaign in the NFL.
True.
Let's see how it plays out because you can't sit there and say the Broncos have this enormous amount of talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, I would argue that right now the Panthers probably have more offensive talent than the Broncos.
Will they be on the field? Because just like defense, Carolina is devastated with injuries right now.
Right.
A lot of starters are not playing.
That's true.
And, the shame part about it is we have holes that can't be filled, but the weight of that will still be on this young quarterback. Yeah. And that's why I'm telling him from my heart, you know where I'm at. Carolina all the way. Cali Cat Pack, Roaring Riot, Panther Nation. Let's go get this W. And I know it's going to be a hard one because I hear what Steve is saying, and he's right. When it comes to talent-wise on offense, we have the talent, but the right plays have to be called. And Bryce, don't worry about anything. Let it all hang out. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Let me ask you another question. Why hasn't the Panthers gone out
Here we go.
and tried to get a solid quarterback, from whatever situation for a third, having if Andy Dalton's not going to be able to play, and you put in Bryce Young out there, and you pretty much have nothing to fall back on. Why have not the Panthers gone out there and got somebody who is a reliable quarterback? I mean, there's quarterbacks out there who can be in there and be ready to play now. Why haven't the Carolina tried to make a move to get somebody else out there and leave Bryce Young out there to hang?
Well, right now, I feel as if, we have Andy Dalton, we have Bryce. Bryce is supposed to be our number 1, regardless of the abysmal season that he had last year and, how it started off from the first 2 games. His psyche, we hope that Andy has been preparing him, and he's been taking good notes. But you know, when you have Andy Dalton, that's a backup, but that's a starter that received his job back. That all he's waiting for is his wide receivers to be healthy
Right.
and the defense to step up. You don't really want to mess with their psyche more than this already right now, because both quarterbacks know where they're at and what situation they are in Carolina. Like you spoke about us getting prospects to come here. Honestly, a person that could be in this type of offense that could thrive, you have to go back and get a Cam type quarterback. It has to be somebody that can throw off the run and that can run in the hiccup.
Right.
And I don't understand for the life of me why Cam has not been a thought. You know, both quarterbacks are under arrest as soon as the ball is hiked.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say that due to injuries, because our offensive line was holding up for a few weeks
Was.
pretty nicely, and we need a runner. It can't be a stand in the pocket type quarterback if we went on the waiver wire and grab somebody.
Right.
I know people are like, Cam, for real? That's what you're saying? Well, you know, if Mike Vick was ready, you know, if what's another running type quarterback that's out there? It has to be somebody who can survive off the run and pass the ball, and actually go get a first down when we need it.
I mean, I'm okay with Cam Newton better than what you have. I mean, I have something that could protect us. Who you can step in right now and at least be productive. I mean, right now they have nobody to be that third. I mean, it's just I'm not sure what the Panthers' game plan is. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, I think they're playing it by ear themselves. You see the decision making ever since Cam, like I said, it seems to be getting systematically worse. Like our decision making with picking people, with trades, even if you're going to get rid of somebody, and you know I can't say this enough. You don't show your hand to let everyone know that they can wait for them on the open market, so they don't have to give up you a premier draft pick. We could just wait till they hit the open market. You don't want him anymore. He's unhappy over there.
Right.
The Cam thing could have been handled better, and Christian McCaffrey trade should have been handled better.
Right.
And then a trade for Bryce Young, I agree with us trading up, but the compensation didn't. It was too much.
Too much.
Especially when you see what Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold has done. We could have kept Sam Darnold and built a team where our defense and offense is ready for a plug and play quarterback. If we would have kept everybody, then I could see drafting the Bryce Young where it's plug and play, not you plug him in like buying a brand. What we did essentially was buy a brand new car with no tires and no engine, and drive the car. And you know, other people watching, they're like, he should be able to drive the car with no engine and no tires. Right. So I listen to people on the fan base, you know, and I talk to them, and when I talk to people, I am not arguing with you. Right. I'm just we're bouncing ideas off each other, trying to see how we can get this organization better, or what we think will make the organization better. But you know, I spend a lot of time arguing with other Carolina fans.
Oh, I've seen on this whole week. It's just been all over the place as far as on the draft, on the logs and all there's sports blogs and everything else. They've been all over the place as far as whether they like Bryce, whether they hate Bryce, what they should do, who they should get. I mean, it's just all over the place. And I don't know. I mean, you had, like you mentioned before, you had Mayfield and Sam Darnold at a discount. I mean, their salaries together is probably much less than what Aaron Rodgers is making this year. Wow. And here you got two quarterbacks with winning records. You know, Vikings now just had their first loss this week, and the Buccaneers are what, 4-2, 4-3. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but you know what? People are tired of me talking about Carolina.
Yeah,
I know my folks are not tired of me talking about it, and I'm gonna talk about Carolina till I'm blue in the face.
Well,
But let's
Well,
get to some of these games, Steve.
well, let's talk about the Commanders. See, we did with Japan. Let's talk about how the Commanders,
Oh.
even after losing Jaden Daniels in the first quarters, see, this is where the organization has changed from what it was under the Redskins, under the Snyder. If this was 4 or 5 years ago, we would have totally just collapsed. It would have just been like, oh my God, Jaden Daniels is out.
Isn't
We're gonna
a
lose.
coinky dink that you want to talk about your team?
Well,
The week that they slapped my team.
Well, no, I'm not even celebrating. I mean, I knew we're gonna beat you guys. That wasn't the point. The point was how we beat you guys. It was like when Jaden Daniels went out, it wasn't a case of, oh God, the whole ship's gonna sink. We're done. This is like next man up. Mariota came in there and not only got the job done, but he got the job done well. The defense stepped it up and was on point. I mean, poor Andy Dalton was like, he had what's his name in the backfield all day. Had
What's up? Shout out to Glenn White. He's on YouTube giving us love. How you doing, sir?
Thank you, Glenn.
Hey, Glenn, if you wanted to call in, the number is 1-909-844-4443. You know, help me out with some of these questions, man, if you got time.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, he had to rub it. He said, you have to rub it in? Yeah, he does.
Yeah, of course I got to rub it in. Listen to me. He wanted to go to the game. Now imagine I did a man a favor.
Wow.
Now imagine if we went there to the game and he had to sit there and do the walk of shame, and I had to sit there and walk with him because DC people are rough. I mean, they gonna let Carolina fans know. Not only did you lose, they might steal your hubcaps off your car. You get back there.
I would have Ubered, so it would have been all right.
All right.
It would have been all right.
But yeah, he would have been there wearing all his Carolina gear, and it would have just been brutal for him. So
I did day representing.
So I did him a favor. He didn't have to sit there and watch that monstrosity in person. So I'm gonna rub it in. Commanders all the way, and we got a big one this week. Commanders at Bears at the Commanders. That's gonna be a good one. See, that should be a game of the week. How is that not a Sunday or a Monday night game?
But your rookie's not playing that game, is he?
But no, they said there's a good chance he could play.
Oh, okay.
With that type of rib injury, they're gonna shoot him up, so he won't feel any pain. As long as your pain threshold's okay.
Man, the way you say shoot him up,
they shoot him up. That's what they do. They inject him with a muscle relaxer, pain reliever, and they don't during the game they don't feel nothing. After the game it's gonna hurt, but during the game they feel nothing. So he'll play. I have every ability to believe he'll play. So, you want to get to some other games?
Yeah, go ahead. Where you wanted to go and go over what we saw last week?
Well, since I'm in the hater mood, I might as well stick to the game that I enjoyed second. My second favorite game.
I know who you going to, man. Leave the man alone.
Aaron freaking Rodgers. Who was the one who told you when they made that decision to go after Aaron Rodgers with the Jets, and everybody was like, "Oh, we're gonna get the Super Bowl now. We're gonna get that elusive Super Bowl." Who's the one who on the show made it clear Aaron Rodgers was a done deal? He doesn't care anymore. He has no passion for the game, and this is gonna blow up in their face. I said it from day one, and sure enough, I've been right. You look at Mahomes, you look at Mayfield, you look at the passion they play with. You look at how they're in the offensive line space, they're in the receiver's face. They're all over the place. They're cheering up the defense. They're bouncing around all over the place. You look at Aaron Rodgers, as soon as the play's over, he has to get off the field. He sits his butt right on the bench, looks down at the screen for a little bit, and just has this like glazed look on his face, like, man.
I know you was gonna pick on this man. Hey, Glenn, if you just called,
I'm just calling real.
I don't know if that was you that just called. Call back. Steve had me on when you was calling 1-909-844-4443.
Yeah, well, look, if you don't believe, watch the next Jets game. Go ahead and watch Aaron Rodgers' mannerisms when he's not on the field, and look how he conducts himself. He's not a leader. He's a quarterback. He's an extremely talented quarterback, but he's not a team leader. He's not somebody who's sitting there. If Garrett Wilson drops a ball, he's not that guy to go over there and put his arm around his shoulder and say, "It's okay, Garrett. You're gonna get the next one." No, Aaron Rodgers is that guy who sits on the bench and gives him that dumb look like, man, he should have caught that ball. I threw it right to him, hit him right in the hands. And that's why.
So you want Aaron Rodgers to be the psychologist on the side of the line?
That's what a quarterback's supposed to be. The quarterback's supposed to be the guy who could You see how many times you saw Tom Brady over there slamming helmets, yelling at, getting offensive lineman's face, doing all kind of stuff. That's what leadership is. Leadership is, you hold yourself to account and you hold other guys to account. That's what a leader does.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is not that. He has 4 MVPs and he has 1 Super Bowl. I mean, it speaks for itself. And it wasn't like he was in the AFC where he had to deal with Tom Brady every year. He's been losing every year, not even playing against Tom Brady.
Blood Whistle Sports. Who's calling?
Yo, this is Glenn White, man. What's up, man?
What's up, sir? Hey,
Thank you,
I thought
Glenn.
it was you. I saw South Carolina on our caller, and I was like, "Oh man, I missed this." But Steve was up here talking that ish once again.
You know me.
Oh, he's always with that ish.
I'm gonna let you know. Since somebody on the show got to be real, we need honesty on the show. I got to be the honest person.
Oh my goodness.
So, Glenn, have I said anything yet that has not been honest? Have I made one comment that's not honest?
Yeah, you 85% right.
Yeah,
I gotta agree with you.
I mean, hockey. The Panther went out and made this trade: 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s, and DJ White. What quarterback can come out there with that type of pressure and perform on a team where you have mediocre talent to support you, and the whole weight of the world is on your shoulder to go out there and perform? Especially when you look at the other guy, number 2, CJ Stroud, lighting it up. That got to play. I mean, psychology, that has to play with your head. I mean, that's just.
You got to blame.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Glenn, please.
First you got to blame the organization.
First.
Oh, I've been saying that. That's what I'm saying. I'm blaming the organization. I don't blame Bryce Young at all because he can't draft himself.
But a bunch of Carolina fans are on Bryce's case.
You've never one time heard me badmouth Bryce Young for what he's done. He was put in a situation to fail.
Set up for failure.
Failure.
That's right. Yeah, that's correct, man. They first draft him, man. Then he's not ready yet. They got to take him 2 years, like they did to what's the quarterback name is? Jordan Love.
Right.
You should have had that same treatment like
Right.
Jordan Love.
But like I said,
for 2 years. Let Andy Dalton run the show and see what Bryce Young does.
That's why I said
it was set up that way for Andy Dalton to take the start and then Bryce Young to come in.
Right.
I don't know why people keep glossing over the fact that Frank Wright was mad at the decision of getting Bryce Young over CJ Stroud. My opinion, just the way it's looking from the outside looking in. And then he started Bryce Young when that wasn't the plan. The plan wasn't for Bryce to come in and start slanging balls. It was planned for him to sit behind Andy Dalton, for Andy to take the lumps, and for Bryce to get the speed of the game.
Right. I agree.
Right.
I agree.
If you look at that draft from, what is that, 2 years now?
Right.
Do you see it take long for the draft Bryce Young? It was an argument.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
It was an argument. Frank Wright was not his guy. It was CJ Stroud guy.
Right.
And they had an argument about that. And Frank Wright said, you know what? We could draft this guy, but I'm going to put him out there and see what our results are. Then, after that, Frank was out of there.
Yeah, Frank was out of there because of what he did.
Right.
And see, that's the thing they're not talking about.
Well, I think it speaks for itself because he hasn't got a job yet at all in the NFL. So clearly,
he retired after he quit on the team. He retired from football. But that was what was said in the papers.
That's what it said in the paper. Do you ever retire as a? I mean, I think he just can't get a job, and so he's calling it retirement. He's only what? How old is he? He's younger than me. I think maybe 52, 53.
Is he really retired?
No, he's not retired.
The Carolina Panthers is still paying this man.
He's gonna wait for the.
Hey, I'll sit back too and get.
Yeah, he's gonna get that money. And
he's
wait for
getting paid.
Right.
Well.
Yeah, he's gonna wait for the opportunity, get the money from the Panthers, and then when the best opportunity comes around, he'll take it.
My goodness.
So yeah, but let me ask you.
He might be in Miami, Florida, just kick me.
Oh yeah. He's living the good life.
It looked like the Jaguar position should be opening.
Right. Yeah, he'll get a job soon. But let me ask you this question, Glenn, because you're in the Carolina area. Do you really believe that Carolina can get the talent because this is my whole argument. I want to see Bryce Young go someplace where he can grow, develop in a system that will work for him. There's nothing from Carolina that shows me that they're going to ever be able to get the talent necessary for him to thrive. They couldn't do it with Cam Newton. Why would you think they could do it with him?
I'm gonna let Glenn take
Glenn.
this.
It's like I said, the GM got to make the right players. Generation talent got to be there. We usually have pet GM with the bad decisions.
Yeah.
And it just, that's another thing. It's the turmoil.
Right. But that's been your organization from the start. I mean, they've been this way for 25, 30 years. It's not a new thing.
And what I want to add in, doing what you said, drafting a quarterback will set us back even more.
No, I don't think so.
And this is why. Drafting a quarterback does not change the positions on offense. It does not change the position on defense. Understand me and understand me well. Carolina fans and whoever else has something to say about this. If you were to put CJ Stroud in this position where everybody's able to rush him, run through the line because people are hurt, he couldn't survive. He is in a situation where he was in a plug and play, which means you plug the quarterback in. He has young leg wide receivers out there, young hogs ready to go catch the ball, and young hog at running back. He was ready to go. Bryce Young came into a place, understand, like I said before, with a brand new car with no tires and no engine.
Right. Okay, but feeding off. Go ahead, Glenn. Go ahead.
But if you look, for example, if you like your team's the Red Washington,
right?
They was been bad for about 3 or 4 years.
Yes,
right?
Big time. And
y'all built through the draft,
right?
Y'all had some lumps like that. I hope you get it like that.
They had Kirk Cousins.
But no, Kirk Cousins was not the answer. Kirk Cousins is a greedy me guy.
Well, what I'm saying is you had Kirk Cousins, which was a big prospect at quarterback, and you guys did.
But he wasn't about winning. He was about getting his money. He held him hostage for 3 years with that. I'm not going to sign a contract. Make me the franchise player. Blah, blah, blah. For 3 years, he did that.
And while 3 years are going, you guys kept him and you added to your defense. You added to your offense, which made your offense and your defense strong. But you didn't go right out and get another quarterback because now your team is strong. That you were still lacking the quarterback, but the team is strong. What Carolina did, we gave you our heart. You guys took Frankie Louvu and who else?
Ooh, yeah.
And that's the heart of your defense right now.
Okay, what's that?
Remember they had Curtis Samuel?
What's that? Yes. But Glenn, what he's saying is just proving my point. What the Redskins did is the example of what not to do. And you guys are talking about doing the same thing. If the quarterback does not work for you, then you have to move on and get another quarterback until the one works. Right now, we're in a good shape because we hit the jackpot with Daniels. Remember, last year we drafted Sam, what was his name? I don't remember his name now because he's so Sam Howell. He's somewhere on the Seahawks bench, nowhere to be found. He was our quarterback, started all 17 games last year, 58 sacks, and now he's somewhere, can't get in the game for Seattle. We went ahead and drafted the next quarterback.
He took a beating.
He took a beating because he couldn't move. The reason why Jaden Daniels looks good. Did you watch that run?
The reason why Jaden Daniels looks good because you have a solid offense and a solid defense.
No. Did you see that first play in the Panther game?
That's like a generation talent.
That's
a generation talent, man.
The first play of the game, he was gliding. He looked like he was walking on air. He went through that line and just was running. The normal quarterback might get 5 or 10 yards and then slide. Once he saw that hole, he was like Derrick Henry. He was running for the touchdown.
It's good to see you happy, Steve.
Yeah, because
it's good to see you happy.
Yeah, because
you're really excited about this guy. I'm happy for you.
But did you see that? But did you see that play though?
Yeah, we all saw it.
He he was not like he was jogging.
Yeah, he was just jogging. He was gliding. It wasn't even like he was putting effort into it. He just looked like, man, I see this hole. I'm faster than these other guys, so I'm just gonna do my thing. I mean,
he's like a
go ahead.
He's like a Lamar Jackson,
Right,
with
with more accuracy.
Speed.
Yeah, with more speed and more accuracy. So that's the thing is he's Lamar Jackson, but he can actually get the ball, to guys consistently, which makes him scary.
And like I said to Wayne, we just gotta hit it. We gotta hit that generation talent. If we hit that, oh yeah, we'd be back.
Go ahead in the draft.
Talent.
Now I hear what you're saying about the generational talent, and you're right. We do need that generational talent. But don't worry, I'm gonna wait for Washington center to go down or somebody to go down. Not wishing anybody any harm on anybody, but when a hole is open and the person just keeps running through, tackling Jaden Daniels, I'm gonna be like, where's the Jaden Daniels magic? See, it's funny when somebody's doing good, like Washington's doing good. Steve is blinded to the fact that everybody that they have on the line is solid, and everybody on Carolina's line is not solid. And he's like, you should be able to succeed even still. No, it doesn't work like that. The people have to be solid on the line as well as the wide receivers when they go out and catch the ball.
I've made it clear. My biggest fear of Jaden Daniels is that he's going to get hurt running that way. But for the time being, he looks beautiful. Yeah, I made it clear that's my biggest fear.
Here on Blow the Whistle Sports, I call that man Jaden Daniels half man, half amazing.
Yeah, you guys in Carolina. Go ahead, Glenn.
I got a family where Dallas Cowboys. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Don't mention Cowboys.
Every time I get home, from work or going out to eat or something. Oh yeah, how the Carolina Panthers do?
Oh,
every
man.
day I look at them, I say, you talk about Tony Romo, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as we are playing them Thanksgiving Day, we beat them so bad, I had to take my mama home and check on my daddy because Tony Romo was done after that broken shoulder. Yeah. And after that, it was quiet. After that, they quieted the whole year after that.
Wait a second. You shouldn't even let a Carolina. You shouldn't even let a Cowboy fan even get at you. All you gotta do is, as a Cowboy fan, when's the last time you been to the Super Bowl? What's that? Not only has Carolina been to the Super Bowl, they've been to 2 different Super Bowls in 2 different generations, 2 different quarterbacks, and 2 different head coaches since the Cowboys have been there.
Wow.
How can the Cowboys say anything?
Ooh.
We go at it, man. I mean,
oh my
it's kind of hard for us to talk while we're doing so bad, though. We are doing bad. Man. The Cowboys are bad because of management too.
Of course, for him to sit there and say he couldn't get Derrick Henry because he couldn't afford him, when Derrick Henry is making about $10 million a year, that's embarrassing. That's sad. It's embarrassing.
10 million.
He's making $10 million. It's contract this year.
You go forward 10.
Of course he could.
They get cheap.
Derrick Henry came out and said, "I want to play for you guys." He came out openly. Players never do this. He came out and said he wanted to be a Cowboy, and they never do that.
Yep.
And they still didn't sign him.
Question: is there a big running back prospect coming out of the draft this year? Is there a huge running back coming out that's eating it up that the Cowboys could be tanking for?
I haven't seen one, but
nobody phenomenal.
No.
You got one who played for I forgot his name. He's tearing up. He's like a smaller back, but he already got 1,000 yards already. And it's just like the 3rd or 4th game.
See, Derrick Henry was built to be a Cowboy back because they need a big back. They need somebody who can take punishment and keep going. That small back we see like Christian McCaffrey, which is premier elite running back. You see tendonitis in both knees or both legs. My goodness, that wear and tear on that body from being a workhorse is something else in the NFL.
Yes, it is.
Let me tell you about the tendonitis is painful.
Ooh, sound like you suffered it before.
Yeah, I play basketball, and it hurts. And I mean, it's just like one day you could be like, 100%. And the next couple of days, it's like, oh man, I gotta take a pain relief.
Man, you gotta take an Epsom salt bath or something.
Exactly.
Yes. That's the so man. It's a throbbing pain. I didn't say it's painful. It's a throbbing pain. It
What
hurts you running ability
Oh
and
yeah.
jumping
man?
ability.
Well, let me since you're speaking about injury, let me ask you your opinion on what happened with Cleveland with Deshaun Watson and how the Browns fans handled him getting injured on the field and cheering when he was hurt.
Well, you know what? I went over that and that got debunked. You know, somebody redid that tape and they did it from a wrestling tape where somebody had retired and they said you deserve it from um a wrestling match. I think it
Right.
was like the Undertaker or somebody that got an
Yeah.
award.
Well, I mean, we know about that part, but I'm talking about just when he did get hurt. There were many fans out there who were cheering. It was loud enough that even the players noticed it. And
Wow.
Garrett came out after the game and spoke on it and spoke about how embarrassed he was for the organization that fans would actually cheer on someone. You know, because they can hear people yelling out in the stands. You can hear what's going on.
Oh, most definite.
So-
When I went to the game, I was yelling at Chuba Hubbard and everybody and telling them what's up.
Yeah,
Even Andy Dalton showed me some love.
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So they could hear what people were saying as far as cheering on his getting hurt or like making comments about him. Now we can win that he's out. So I mean I'm embarrassed for
Oh,
organization.
that's embarrassing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go hard on nobody injury,
Yeah.
but that's terrible, man.
Sure. At your home game. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if you're on the road, but if you're at home, no matter what happens, your fan base has to stand by you.
Keep
no matter
your
how bad
personal
you are.
feelings to yourself.
Exactly. So yeah, that was a sad moment this week. But as horrible as Deshaun Watson has played, I hope he gets a full recovery and can come back and be stronger.
Right.
And make something for it. But he's out for the year. Jameis Winston now is going to go ahead and start.
We know he's going to be all right.
Well,
he's going to be all right.
Well, he's already $230 million all right, but is he going to be all right as far as his career goes?
Say mentally, because he'll get another job if he wants another job.
Right, but then wants one. Yeah, that's the question.
That's the big question. But Glenn, thank you for calling in, man. Thank you for your support, dude.
Exactly.
And
man.
we're gonna do something like I said, where we talk to our fan base, me and you. We gonna talk about that.
Since he's a Panther fan, can we at least get a prediction for the game this week?
Glenn, what's your prediction this week when we play Detroit?
No, you play Detroit. You play Denver.
Rookie versus
you play Denver Broncos.
I mean Denver Broncos.
There's a big difference between Detroit and Denver.
Hey, they both start with the D.
Well, okay.
You know I'm a Panthers fan from the heart, and I have my criticism with the Panthers. You know, some people ain't gonna like it, some people don't. You know, some people agree, people disagree. But Denver got the number 2 defense in the league.
Right. Yeah.
And Bryce Young is going to struggle.
And that's what I mentioned about before. They should have gone out and got a quality quarterback.
Hey, Steve, I'm not going to let you keep kicking us there.
I'm just calling.
And Glenn, I appreciate your opinion.
Thank you.
But check this out. Carolina is going to squeak this victory out against Denver this week. And you can take that to the bank. I didn't tell y'all to bet on it. I'm putting money on it. Carolina beats Denver this week. We go against Bo Nix. Yeah, they got a heck of a defense over there. We gonna find a way.
Broncos.
Let's hold hands.
Broncos beat the Saints 33-10 last week. What did the Saints do to the Carolina?
Hey, that's when they had Derek Carr when we played them.
And they had Bryce Young quarterbacking.
What? Now Derek Carr is not in.
Hey, I'll talk to y'all later, man. Might be kind of bad.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir. Thank you for calling in, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Don't make his bet. So Glenn, ignore his bet. Don't do it.
Hey, I didn't tell him to bet.
Save your money.
That's all me. That's all me.
All right.
And thank you, Glenn. Come on, man. Let's do these picks for this week, man. You always want to pick on my team.
Oh yeah,
it's all right. Let's start off with Thursday night. Vikings at the Rams.
And speaking of the Rams need to learn how to keep when you got the point spread. Don't just tank the second half and let the Raiders come back and not cover the spread. They had a 20-6 lead and going almost into the fourth quarter, and they just decided just to tank the game and let the. So I just
they cost me some money.
Yeah, just venting on that. But for that reason alone, I'm taking the Vikings because right now I'm not impressed with the Rams.
I'm taking the Vikings also. Moving down, going to Cleveland, where we're going to have a sighting of Winston.
Jameis Winston.
We're going to have a sighting? He's finally going to be on the field?
He'll throw you 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in the same
That
game.
was the old Winston. Do we get to see a new one?
We're going to find out.
We know he has a crazy arm out there.
Because he's playing against a strong Raven defense. So
we know he has a crazy arm. If these wide receivers get open, he's going to get him the ball. But I'm going with Baltimore with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going with Baltimore too.
And then, this is a week if you are a betting person to make you some dollars. I would take the Ravens over Cleveland and take that to the bank. Mm-hmm. Titans at Detroit.
Titans at Detroit. This is a new contest. Detroit all the way. I guess they're now starting. Who are they starting quarterback? The Titans. They put Will Levis on the bench.
Yeah, he got benched.
So yeah. Mason Rudolph.
Hey, and this is another one. You can pair this up. Ravens, Detroit. Put that on your card right there. Ravens, Detroit.
Yes, sir.
And then we have another one coming up, and I'm taking Detroit also with Steve that you can also take to the bank. Colts going in there to play the Texans. But you know what? I'm taking the Texans on this one. This is one that it should be a sure one, but stick with the first two I said, Baltimore and Detroit. Texans is an option to throw in there.
Yeah, I got Texas as an option. No guarantees. Don't feel sad. If you,
I didn't put a guarantee on that, but that's just the option pick right there.
Yeah, when those two teams play, anything can happen. So
now this is the third one to put on the card where you have Baltimore, Detroit, the Green Bay Packers going in there to play the Jaguars.
Yeah,
I'm taking Love.
I got
Love's in the air. I'm taking Green Bay.
Yeah, Jags got their one win. They feel good about. London. London's always been good to them. They're going to come back to earth this week.
Yeah, but they're coming back to earth in the hard way after having to fly from way over there from London to go to their stadium. And I don't know, that jet lag. Last time I was in London and I stayed for a while. That jet lag lasts with you for a minute. And they're already not a great team.
Right. And they got injuries too. So, I think it's going to be definitely a pack win. We got 3 in a row now, right?
Detroit. That's they pick 3 right there.
Yeah, pick 3.
Baltimore, Detroit, Green Bay.
Okay.
Take it to the bank.
All right.
Moving right along in the morning games, Arizona goes into Miami. Will Tua play or will he not play?
Big question. I'm still taking the Dolphins, even if Tua doesn't play. Arizona, once again, they got their big win on a short week. Got to travel cross country. I just think Miami will find a way. Defense will step it up, and it'll be an ugly, close game. That's my upset pick.
You don't know if Tua playing or not. You're just going with Miami.
I'm just going. I just have a feeling. Short week, coming off a win. Got to travel cross country.
Who did Miami play last week?
Miami won. Didn't they beat? Was it Tennessee? I think they beat Tennessee.
Who's the quarterback if he don't play?
I can tell you right now, they beat the. No, they did. They just lost to the Colts. They had 16-10 and lost to the Colts.
Now, but who was the quarterback?
It was Huntley.
Yeah. I'm taking Arizona to dig that one out and beat the Dolphins without Tua. If Tua plays, then leave this game alone.
Leave it alone. All right, go ahead.
Jets going there to New England to play the Patriots.
Now, as I've been speaking about the Jets this week.
Yeah, you better ask Mac right now, though.
The Patriots may be one of the worst teams in the last 10 years as far as, they found a way to win one game. This team may not win another game this year.
This is not that.
Yeah, no. They might go 1-16. So
Aaron freaking Rodgers.
No, it has nothing to do with Rodgers.
Look for Devontae Adams to show out this game so they can get that cohesiveness going and get that 7-game winning streak that I told y'all about going now.
Look for the Jets defense. If you can get the Jets defense on fantasy this week, pick them up quick because the Jets defense might score more points than the Jets offense. It's one of the type of games.
That's what I was going for, man. I didn't even tell everybody.
I'm sorry, well, I'm a truth sayer. I told you already.
Hey, well, he put it out there already. Now, We're going to go into Tampa Bay, where they are having some problems, but the Falcons are flying out there to the Bay to play them. I'm taking Atlanta ATL to beat the Bucks because they will be without Mike Evans and Godwin.
Yeah. This was a tough one for me because every part of me wants to take the Bucks. You guys know how I feel about Kirk Cousins, but I just think there's just too many injuries to bounce off of. You know, you can't lose your top two receivers like that. And
Atlanta will have to close their eyes and lose this.
Yeah. It's just too much to ask for to try to win without your top
If Atlanta loses this one, this coach needs not to get fired. He needs to quit.
Oh yeah, we're gonna blame. Who else we gonna blame but Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins, he's hot and cold. But anyway,
well, he's gonna be hot on this one.
All right.
And then we got the game that should be the Sunday night game, in my opinion, not the Cowboys and the 49ers. No. We're gonna the Eagles and go into Cincinnati to play the Bengals. This is the late game. I should believe it should be.
Excuse me. The game that should be the Sunday night game should be the Bears at the Commanders.
You don't know if your quarterback playing, or I would have suggested that. But if your quarterback's not playing, no, they shouldn't.
It don't matter. Look at the records. You got 4-2 versus 4-2. The Bengals are under 500. Why would I want to put them?
But because of the quarterbacks, that's what you want to see.
Oh, I want to see winning teams. See, this is where we get back to. You want to talk about quarterbacks. I want to talk about winners. What two teams are winning?
First of all, why would you want to see a winner without the star?
Because it's still
that's
winning.
Just like going to a game and you want to see the star play, but he's not playing today.
Because they're winning.
But you want to put him in the spotlight without the star.
Yeah, because they're winning.
Nobody want to go see Michael Jackson without Michael Jackson being there, Steve.
This is me. If it sells records, it sells. I don't care who's selling it.
Okay, so who are you picking, Steve?
I'm taking in your game. I'm taking the Eagles.
I'm taking Cincinnati. Good. How you like them apples?
You can take that. You're going to take a loss.
Oh, no. We're going to see next week when we come back in here.
Tell people who's the hottest man in office football pool. Who's blazing it up on office football pool?
We'll see after this week, Steve. We'll see after this week.
All right, guys. All right.
You the man right now, but we're going to see.
Yes,
now, moving to another game. Saints going there. Oh, not going there. They coming out here to L.A. to play the Chargers.
Chargers are another team. That was a lackluster performance. You playing against a team in Arizona that did not want to win whatsoever, and you couldn't even get a touchdown in that game.
That was a sad game.
Sad game.
And then the referees. That wasn't a pass interference.
Right. Oh, of course it was.
He held the man where he could have caught the ball, and they gonna do this, talking about it was over his head.
Yeah, the NFL got to get this straight. I don't know what to do as far as they got all the technology in the world, and they can go there and have the people in New York go ahead and change the call, and they won't change.
But that's another quarterback. I mean, another coaching staff that we have left out the argument that comes in at 3 and 4. When we got Andy Reid and we got Mike Tomlin, you got to have the hardballs bringing up the rear with that, because these are the main coaches in the NFL.
Yeah,
right
now. they love the hardball. So now, even though I'm bad-mouthing the Chargers, they should find a way to beat the Saints as long as Derek Carr is out, because poor Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers also.
Yeah, I got them.
When does Carr do back?
I was talking about maybe, hopefully, if not next week, the week after for sure.
My goodness.
But yeah.
And then we move to another game that should be exciting. The Buffalo Bills go down there where they meet the 12th man in the Seattle Seahawks.
Now, this actually could be a Sunday night game better than Cowboys-Niners, because you got two solid organizations here in the Bills and Seahawks that have strong fan bases. So that being said, I'm still sticking with the Bills until they prove me wrong. They just look like, Josh Allen is just doing his thing.
Seattle got a lot of heart. Seattle's a team that's scary. If they stay in there and stay healthy and these other teams keep with these injuries piling up, Seattle can slide in there and do some stuff as it starts getting down to the nitty-gritty. But with that being said, I'm taking the Buffalo Bills with that new wide receiver over there, and I'm waiting to see this offense light it up, because we haven't seen them click on all cylinders yet. I think it'll be a scary thing when we do.
It may take Amari Cooper a couple of weeks to wake up. He was so downtrodden in Cleveland. It might take him about 2 weeks to get his head back on.
He get a new attitude. He got a new QB right there.
New QB, winning organization. it makes a difference when you're playing for a winning organization and a losing one.
Right,
Because when
right.
you're playing for a losing one, you just like, oh man, I gotta go on this field. I might get hurt. My contract's not guaranteed. When you're playing for a winner, it's like I gotta get back on the field because if I don't get on the field, somebody's gonna take my position.
Exactly.
So
next man up.
Next man up. Yep.
So now we're moving right down to Washington.
The game of the week. Thank you.
Where the Bears go in there to see the Washington Commanders.
I'm going to take, this is two strong defenses. I'm going to take the Commanders to squeeze this game out at home.
You know what?
It's a home game. They're going to be pumped up. Right.
I like your team. I like your team. They have when I say heart, when on that defense is a stout defense over there.
Say his name again. Who did we get from Carolina? Who just came in and became the team leader on defense? What's his name again?
And that's just like I said, we gave away culture. And you guys have a heck of a coach over there in Washington. And Washington is going to, if you think they're doing good this season, oh my goodness, how they will look next season.
Oh, they're going to be great
I'm taking the Commanders because like you said, when he went out, they did not miss a beat. Did not miss a beat.
The defense, I mean, come on. The defense has been on point this year. So, yeah, I got the Commanders.
Now we're going here to Denver, where the Carolina Panthers climb on the plane and they fly out to Denver to play the Denver Broncos. Steve is going to say I'm picking with my heart, and I don't care. I'm taking Carolina. Bryce Young, after being on the bench for these last few weeks, he step up and squeak a game out. I think he's going to do a little more running in this game for his life, where he'll get that first down. He's going to figure it out. And if anything, this is a game that I believe that he can pull out. I just got high hopes. I'll put it to you like that. I got high hopes because you know how we've been putting up stinkers, but I'm still going to ride with my team. I didn't tell anybody to put any money on it. Just ride with my team.
I got to be the voice of reason here. The Broncos have 10 games to prepare. 10 days to prepare. This game's going to be ugly. I said they might lose by 25, 30 points. Easy. Take the over. Take the Broncos.
We got to finish these picks up, Steve.
We're going to do it.
We're overtime, sir.
Okay, I'm sure we are. I'm sure we are. I'm sure we are on overtime.
Well, he's taking the Broncos, and I'm taking Carolina. Y'all know what it is.
All right.
Cali Cat Pack, Roaring Riot, Panther Nation. Now we go into another game. I know I gave you a pick 3, but I'm going to go ahead and slide this pick 4 for you. Take KC to beat the Raiders by at least 20 points. KC goes in there to beat the Raiders by at least 20.
I wouldn't say 20 points. It's still Chiefs Raiders.
25?
So, no, I'd say they win between 10 to 14. It'll be Raiders are gonna find a way. They get up for the Chiefs game. It's in Vegas. They're gonna play at their best. I say
I don't know what alcohol you've been on right now.
24-14.
I know I smelled something when you came in the studio. But Steve, check this out. Carolina beat the Raiders.
Yes.
Carolina beat the Raiders, and not just beat them convincingly, Steve.
Yeah, but it's a different animal when you're playing the rivalry games. You know how that goes, that energy.
Okay, we can go with that energy. And I'm going to tell you some more energy. That energy done went out and picked up another wide receiver. You know what the name of that wide receiver is?
It's going to be called DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. I said 20. They're gonna beat them by at least 25. Okay. How about that?
All right.
You know what? I'm gonna be sensible.
We'll talk about next.
At least 23, and we're gonna talk about that next week.
Okay.
Put KC on your card. Now you got a pick 4 from here from Blow the Whistle Sports.
All right.
And that late night game that they picked because these jerseys sell like hotcakes. Cowboys and 49er jerseys go off the shelf more than hotcakes.
Yeah.
Cowboys go down there to the Bay to play the 49ers at home. And I'm taking Brock Purdy to put hands on the Cowboys with no running game. No running game at all. And unless you hear them say, we're going to bring Cook up, It's a wrap.
Yeah, I can't take the Cowboys anyway, but yeah, I got the Niners too. Jawan Jennings sounds like he might be back this game.
Unanimous.
So yeah, we got Niners. It's not it. Go ahead.
Last game, Monday night, last but not least, the 2-5 Giants go to Pittsburgh to see the 5-2 Steelers. Who will Mike Tomlin have starting at QB now? Will it be Russell or Fields?
Doesn't it feel like the last 3 or 4 weeks, the Steelers and Cowboys have been like on every primetime game?
True.
Steelers were on last week. They were on the week before. Yeah, I got Russell Wilson. I mean, the Giants, Daniel Jones, God bless him. He got his money. Hey, but he
paid.
He got paid, but he's one step above Deshaun Watson as far as taking the money and running with it.
Ooh.
He's barely above Deshaun Watson as far as just totally taking on an organization.
You trying to say that man stealing?
He's stealing money. Yeah, stealing money.
Hey, it is what it is. He's making his money. Are you taking Pittsburgh or the Giants?
Of course.
It sounds like you're taking the Giants.
Of course I'm taking Pittsburgh. Yeah, come on now.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we can't wait to see y'all next week to see what these outcomes is when you see them Chiefs beat them Raiders by 23 now, because Steve made me mad.
Under 14.
And we're going to talk about that next week. See y'all next week.
Peace out.
Later. Oh, man.